My name is Sarah, and I am 26 years old. I work in an office in the bustling city, and to escape the hectic urban life, I visit my countryside home every Saturday and Sunday. Luckily, I own a house in a village close to the city, nestled near a dense forest. I used to love spending time there, immersing myself in nature's tranquility, but eventually I stopped going. Let me tell you why. One Saturday, after an exhausting week of work, I decided to visit my village home to recharge. I packed my belongings, loaded them into the car, and set off. The drive was peaceful, with the winding roads and lush greenery helping to melt away the stress of the week. By the time I reached my house, it was late, and I was utterly drained. As soon as I lay down on the bed, I fell into a deep sleep. In the middle of the night, the piercing sound of my car alarm jolted me awake. Disoriented, I stumbled to the window and looked out, but saw no one. I turned off the alarm from inside and tried to go back to sleep, dismissing it as a false alarm. But soon after, the alarm went off again. Annoyed and still half asleep, I turned it off from where I was, not bothering to check outside. Everything went silent once more. However, 5 minutes later, the alarm blared for the third time. Could it be a coincidence? 3 times seemed highly unlikely. Was someone playing a prank on me? My curiosity and concern overpowered my sleepiness, and I got up to turn off the alarm again. This time, I decided to stay by the window and watch. After a while, I saw a shadowy figure emerge from behind the trees and move towards my car. It was a thin, dark silhouette, barely visible in the moonlight. It knocked on my car with its slender hand, causing the alarm to go off again, and then swiftly retreated back into the shadows. At that moment, I realized something was very wrong, and a chill ran down my spine. I turned off the alarm, but kept my eyes glued to the window. The shadow reappeared and approached my house this time, unlocking the gate with ease. My heart pounded in my chest as dark thoughts raced through my mind. Who was this? What did it want from me? Would it leave or break into my house? My body trembled with fear. Summoning every ounce of courage, I decided to investigate further. I tiptoed downstairs, looking for anything I could use to defend myself. As I reached the living room, I extended my hand to turn on the light, but froze in my tracks. The shadow was pressed against the window, peering inside with an eerie stillness. I quickly hid behind the sofa, peeking out to observe its movements. I realized it was setting off the alarm to lure me outside. I couldn't tear my eyes away from its horrifying face. Pale, wrinkled skin, small black eyes that seemed to bore into my soul, nostrils like rabbit holes, and monstrous, jagged teeth. Its breath was so heavy that it fogged up the window, creating a ghostly effect. I knew it wasn't going anywhere. It started moving again, and I heard its footsteps heading toward the door. My fear intensified. It slid its bony fingers under the door, trying to get in. It turned the handle, making terrifying animal-like growls. I knew if it realized that I was inside, it wouldn't leave. I crouched behind the sofa, trying to stay silent. My heart pounded in my throat, my head ached with fear, and I shook like a leaf. Time seemed to stretch endlessly. I don't know how long I stayed there, but I must have passed out from sheer terror. When I came to, the shadow was gone, and the door was still shut. Everything was quiet and in place. Relieved, I went upstairs to my room and looked out the window to see dawn breaking. The shadow was nowhere in sight. I grabbed my keys, leaving everything behind, and dashed to my car, speeding back to the city. I didn't stop until I reached my city apartment. Back home, I turned on the radio to catch the news. The headline reported that the bodies of 2 young girls were found in the village the previous night with multiple bite marks on them. The police were baffled and the villagers were terrified. I realized that the same creature that terrorized me must have attacked them. The memory still chills me to the bone, and I shudder to think what might have happened if I hadn't fled. That was the last time I visited my village home. The once peaceful retreat had become a place of nightmares, and I couldn't bring myself to return. The thought of that shadowy figure lurking in the darkness, waiting to strike, still haunts me. To this day, I wonder what it was and why it targeted me. Was it just a random encounter, or was there something more sinister at play? The questions remain unanswered, and the fear lingers, a constant reminder of the terror I faced that night in the countryside. If you enjoyed our content, please subscribe to our channel, hit the bell icon, and like the video. Don't forget to share your thoughts in the comments. Thank you for watching, and we'll be back with another story soon. Until then, bye.